We are controlling transmission.
Yeah, there we go. That sounds a little bit better. That's tracking like it normally should be.
Très bien.
My man's picking up some of that middle school French and shit that he had back in the day. Cannabis connection in the house.
420 boys in the building. Oui.
For the extreme retro review for ECW, March 20th, I think. Yeah, March 20th, 1997. Let me get back. I think I might have to start this all over again because your boy's been all fucked up. I had it. No. What happened was, and I'm trying to fix the shit as I'm doing it or whatever. It looked right. I mean, it seemed right, I guess. No headphones. I know my man's been holding the goddamn.
Yeah, my bad.
My man's been holding the goddamn blunt for like forever and shit. Even though I got this though. 54 minutes and 40 seconds. For the chosen few who have the coveted, illustrious, and highly sought after tape trader version of this show. My man to the right of me is the multiversal heartthrob, and he watches this show via the WWE Network, which is on Peacock. So, for the person who has the premium plus package,
That's right.
pause.
That's what she said.
$9.99 to be worked at his own convenience. For Extreme Retro Review number 258, he will give his thoughts and views, as well as the time from the streaming service that leases the streaming service that he subscribes to.
Yes, indeed. The far superior streaming service, indeed. I was just thinking while you were talking about your elusive and illustrious. That's like tape trader show, that is. So that's like someone inviting you to Camp Crystal Lake, and they're hyping it up by how you're going to have such a great time and all the pussy you're going to get. But really, no one ever makes it back from Camp Crystal Lake, now do they?
Only girls.
Oh, yeah, and unfortunately, for all you neckbeards out there who watch the tape trader shows, you're fucked. For this show on the Peacock Network, they had it dated as March 18th, 1997, but nevertheless, it was 49 minutes and 5 seconds. It had some great moments that I really appreciated, some memorable moments, and some low moments as well. And I'm sure the food is about to dive a little deeper into that right now.
So we start with a pull apart. Sabu and Cuck Candido. Taz comes in and he stares down Sabu. They head towards each other, but Cuck jumps into Sabu and RVD jumps into Taz.
What?
The geeks pull everyone apart. Stevie then comes out. Raven then comes out with the undead Bulldozer, and they're left in the ring. Bulldozer asks to get him, but Raven wants Stevie all by himself.
Pause.
He offers Stevie one shot, but Natural Born Killers hits, and in the fucking distance at the goddamn entranceway, above it, is New Jack Bojangling on top of the entrance. Shout out to Too Cold Scorpio in Earth 37. He dances and dives onto the geeks. What the fuck is happening? H-Dub, talk to me.
You segued perfectly into my thoughts as I'm watching all of this unfold. Because in each segment, as you recapped it, I relived my initial view. And so, each different part, I'm trying to get into it. And it just goes into what the fuck into more what the fuckery. And then it was the icing of the cake, because of course New Jack can't bojangle in silence. They gotta bojangle to his beat, and in my case it was the Peacock WWE Network.
this shit to review it, yo, to bring myself up to speed. Watch this shit on the WWE on the network. Got it for free, you know what I'm saying, for the next 6 months and shit, you know what I'm saying, for having a Google Chromecast and shit, you know what I mean? So, shout out to Google, you know what I mean? And, I'm watching this shit, and they got the New Jack, the Natural Born Killers ripoff.
Yes.
It's awful.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So imagine having to listen to that every time these two niggas have a whole ass match.
And get beat up to it.
I don't understand.
We come back with Joey at the Nest, telling you that this is an episode that you cannot miss, because this is the highlight clip show version of Hostile City Showdown 1997.
Not recounted by us.
And no Extreme Retro Review. Moving on. We got RVD versus Taz with Fonzie in a weapons match. Taz brings in a chair, lays it down for RVD. They tussle for a second, but this was basically an extended squidash. Taz chokes out RVD in like 9 minutes. The Holiday Hell 1996 match, recounted by us in Extreme Retro Review number 236.
You're welcome.
Was way fucking better. Hilarious, because offline we're talking about the shit. He says, you know, I actually like this match. I said, the Holiday Hell match was way better. He says, I don't even remember that shit.
Yeah. And to defend myself, it was like 3 years ago when I last watched that match, and I probably won't remember this match tomorrow.
This was a waste of time. I've said for a year that Taz has been protected the entire time, sacrificed RVD twice for no reason. Sabu had to go 60-40 with Geeks, going 20 minutes in tag matches to put the Eliminators over. All 1996, right up to 1 month before the pay-per-view. Ridiculous. 1 star. HW, your thoughts of the match?
I completely disagree with what the Fuge just said. Now, wow.
You don't remember the last match?
The last one. Oh, but we're talking about this match. And this match, I thought they told a great story. I like how RVD almost killed himself trying to do a crossbody on the Taz and shit. Like, they both got the upper hand when they was trying to do their style. Like when Taz was getting his wrestle on and shit, he was dominating. When RVD was able to spin kick and shit, he got the upper hand for a little bit of shit. And then how could you not appreciate the finish where once Taz gets RVD hooked in, he tries his best to survive the Taz mission, but there is no escaping the Kataha Jame.
He did the same thing in Holiday Hell 1996. Recounted by us, Extreme Retro Review, number 236.
You're welcome.
3 years ago. So again, go back to that match. You'll see it and you'll go, it's a waste of time. I must note that I wrote this review June 17th, 2020. We got Joey at the Nest talking about the pay-per-view, and he throws it to a match joined in progress. What? The Undead Bulldozer Brian Lee versus the living legend Terry Funk. We got Lee beating on Funk with a trash can.
5 stars.
Funk with his wacky selling is hilarious, with Joey putting him over like so. Clipped up to Funk, beating Lee with a chair outside.
Ooh.
He hits an Acai moonsault. Clipped again to Funk hitting himself with the trash can, then hitting Brian Lee with the trash can, then taking turns hitting himself and Brian Lee with the trash can. Ridiculous.
What an idiot.
Clipped again to Funk hitting a moonsault on Lee with the can. Lee's sale is hilarious. Lee goes for the primetime slam, but Funk counters it into a DDT for the win. Negative infinity.
You. I could not agree more. Matter of fact, I gave it. When did I have a negative infinity? Let me see. When he started his comeback. But for the finish, I gave it a negative infinity.
It was only 7 minutes. Why all the clippage? Funk says, "We did it!" While he stumbles around ringside like a damn idiot. Joy asked the audience, how can you hold back the tears? What a fucking geek!
Who was getting teared up in that moment because he beat Brian Lee?
Who the fuck cares? We have a barely legal puff piece. Three-way dance for a shot at the title. Sandman, Stevie Richards, and the idiot Tommy Dreamer, who passed it on to Terry Funk.
Oh my God.
We have a CyberSlam 1997 spot recounted by us, Extreme Retro Review number 253.
You're welcome.
We have a BWO t-shirt spot, a House of Hardcore t-shirt spot, the Taz t-shirt, an Order Crossing the Line Again, recounted by us in Extreme Retro Review number 249.
You're welcome.
To see if Rick Rude is under the mask. And on the hotline, a complete report of Hostile City Showdown 1997. All for $1.99 a minute. Fuck that shit. 2 international wrestlers are negotiating to compete in the States. Is the career of Mikey Whipwreck over? And what does ECW, Howard Stern, and Larry Flint all have in common? Besides a penchant for lesbians, the answers might be that they're all moving on. We have an ECW World Television title match. The franchise, Shane Douglas, the last surviving member of Hot Stuff International.
Put some respect on their name.
Founded by the leader, the king of Philadelphia, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert.
Oh, come on, somebody.
Along with Shane Douglas is the head cheerleader, Francine. And he's going up against Gary. In an I Quit match. It's joined in progress. Gary powerbombs Shane through a table and then applies the full Nelson. Ridiculous. Finnegoop then checks on Shane. Franny then KOs Ortiz with the belt and takes the ringside hammer. Franny with the distraction. Shane KOs Gary with the hammer. Does his best Eddie Guerrero bit. Finnegoop is an idiot. Franny starts loosening the turnbuckle. Rude awakening and full Nelson on Gary. This nice yum is in the crowd with a BWO t-shirt looking like a complete virgin. Gary stays alive for the 3-arm drop bit. Shane fools Gary into the ropes head first like Mick Foley. Shane with the drop kick, the triple threat jump. Anthony, who come down to support Franny, then tightens the rope around the neck. Franny gets Gary to say I quit, and then clip to Gary being loaded onto the wambulance. Shane for the win. LOL. HW, your thoughts?
Well, I'm annoyed as fuck that they cut to them going to the ambulance. But that aside, I loved every bit of that, and that was. I have never seen anything like that as far as somebody using the ring ropes to lock their opponent in like that or whatnot. I loved it. That was some great healery on part of Shane and Francine, and I just you kind of just blew past the opening package where they re-showed Shane shaking the shit out of Gary's RoboCop 2 armor that he had on.
The Pit Bulls have been separated from their Beastmaster, neutered, and now euthanized. Moving on. Joey's in the back with the WCW Phantom, who says that Easter's going to be bad in the Wolf household, but it's going to go on as planned for the rest of the United States.
What?
He then makes veiled threats and lewd comments towards Shane and Francine, respectively. Joey tries to wrap it up, but Shane and Francine walk into the shot and ask, where did Rick Rude go? He literally walked right past y'all, unless y'all want me to believe he vanished like WCW Warrior.
Well, he is the ECW Phantom.
Shane talks shit about Rick Rude while holding up a VHS tape. You should know what he does to people with bad necks, leaving them with screws and leaving them in contraptions. The reason why you don't want to take that mask off is because you got a bad neck. You talk mad shit like it's 1993, and the franchise in 1997 could take out the root of 93, and he walks off. Franny then asks about the editable panties. HW, your thoughts of the promo, or the whole segment?
Oh, the whole segment was freaking hilarious, and Shane, he was not having none of that shit. Shane, he brings a real serious intensity.
Legit! He's the only legit motherfucker in the promotion, and that's why, like, even Taz with the shoot fighter gimmick, I don't believe him because he's 5'3". You know what I'm saying? Like, Shane actually looks like a real wrestler, and he talks like a real wrestler, and he carries himself like a real wrestler. Everybody else is a fucking cartoon, drug addict, black activist, bojangling ass nigga. They're all ridiculous. They're all got coochie cutter shorts on, you know, motherfucker swinging a cane around. Some geek, you know, with comic book t-shirts talking about my dead dad, my dad this. Some old fucking fig ass, you know what I'm saying, walking around talking about I want one more chance. Shane's the only real one there.
Well, tell us how you really feel.
We got a 328, April 4th, and the Barely Legal t-shirt spot with Taz and Sabu moving on. When we come back, we have Dudley's versus the Eliminators for the tag straps. We have another spot for March 28th and April 4th moving on. On April 12th, the night before the Barely Legal pay-per-view, we have a banquet for the living legend, Terry Funk.
Oh, fuck my life.
HW, your thoughts of the night before the pay-per-view honoring the living legend Terry Funk?
The one saving grace that I have about this is that I know that this is professional wrestling. So I hope and pray to whatever deity is in control of the wrestling business that someone interrupts and destroys Terry Funk and just ruins his whole night and makes him look like the piece of shit that he is, which, by the way, Brian Lee threw him in the garbage can in their match, and I LOL'd, and I forgot to mention that.
We have a spot for the Taz t-shirt, the Sabu t-shirt, the Raven t-shirt, the BWO t-shirt, the ECW Hazardous for Your Health t-shirt, the It's Not For Everyone t-shirt, the Sandman t-shirt, and a House of Hardcore shield. Moving on. We come back, ECW Tag Team titles, Dudley's versus the Eliminators, also joined in progress. Clip to start, clip shine, clip heat, clip couple of hope spots, good comeback, but fall to 3D clean, new tag team champions. Gertner comes in and, you know, bobbing and weaving, talking that shit, talking about how the Dudleys won 75-68. H-Dub, your thoughts of the tag match?
My thoughts of the tag match was it was all right. It was probably a little better than what I expected, but I didn't expect a lot, to be honest with you. It surprised the fuck out of me that the Dudleys went over clean and shit. So I wanted to ask you, was that like the turning point for the Dudleys, or were the Eliminators in some sort of, did they have some heat backstage or something? Or
This is more so like the rematch is going to be at the pay-per-view.
All right, we'll stay tuned then.
Gertner leads in the new tag chaps for a quick promo outside the ECW arena. Bubba's on the harmonica playing taps. Moving on. Back with Joey at the nest, throwing it to a match. Sandman versus Balls Mahoney. Also joined in progress. Hack with the cane, Balls with the chair, and he's leaking. It's clipped. Hack wins with a leg drop on the chair. Dud, HW, your thoughts of the match?
I'm glad it was clipped because that shit was hard to watch, and that I could see how ECW got its reputation with shit like that. Just
After the match, Sandman with the beer bash. Moving on. On April 12th, the night before Barely Legal, ECW at the Philadelphia Airport Hotel Banquet Hall will be honoring the living legend, Terry Funk. Join us April 12th, 1997, to honor Terry Funk.
Security, you can take the night off.
We have a spot for March 28th featuring a mixed tag match between Shane with Franny versus Putz and Beulah. Moving on. We have another Rick Rude promo calling Shane a cross-dresser because Franny's coming home with him.
Yeah, it's kind of random.
We have a hype package for Barely Legal featuring Sabu versus Taz. Moving on. Joey with a fuckwad impersonation, hyping that less than 1 month away, Taz is ready for Sabu. But is Sabu ready for Taz? H-Dub, I pose the question to you.
Yeah.
Is Sabu ready for Taz?
Absolutely not. He will not be able to withstand the fury of that 5'3" mound of man. Sabu is screwed at Barely Legal.
And our TV main event for tonight, Sabu versus Spike Dudley. On the Tape Traders show, we got 6 minutes left. Sabu rocking it old school with the orange and black 1993 gear on. I don't think he's one bit worried about this match. Sabu on his wrestling tape, it says Taz instead of Sabu. I wouldn't have noticed if they hadn't have brought it up. Spike is a job guy, and goddamn, is Sabu treating him like a job guy. It's so funny and it's so cute to let Spike get a couple of spots in. Sabu with a Tazplex and a Taz mission for the win. I gave it 3 stars. HW, your thoughts?
I'm glad you called it a Taz mission and not the Kata Hajime, because there's definitely a difference when applied by a goof like Sabu. My thoughts on the match are I have no thoughts on the match because it was who gives a fuck about Spike Dudley? I'm sure he's a nice guy who's a wonderful family man. Is he still alive?
I don't know.
Because, I don't want to do the rest in peace. And then you'd be like, oh, he's still alive. And then I'm listening to this back at home feeling like a jackass. But nevertheless, it was, just a squash match, and Spike looked like a goof, but it was funny.
After the match, Ortiz makes the call, but Sabu grabs the mic and yells, Taz, you fucking midget, get your ass out of here. I bumped it up to a 4. Fonzie comes out to talk shit, but he gets beat up, put through a table. I bumped it up to 4.5. Sabu yells Taz one more time, and he holds his tailbone. Overall, this show was a chore to watch until Sabu came through and saved it. I would have loved to see this show in its entirety, but overall, it's clip, don't skip. That's the best. That's the best I can say. Clip, don't skip. The matches are new. You know what I'm saying? But every last one was clipped, joined in progress. Gary, Gary getting a trash compactor onto his neck was hilarious. You know what I'm saying? And his neck was Christine. And Freddie was the trash.
That's fucking awesome. And, and props to Francine and shit.
She's the best!
She was turning the fuck out of that rich rope loosener thing or whatever.
Next week, coming right back to you. Extreme Wrestling Review number 259, the March 27th, 1997 show. We out. Peace.
Peace.
We are controlling transmission. Controlling transmission.